Have you ever wondered why people with high potential seem to stay stuck? Maybe it's even you. You've been told you're smart, capable, full of potential. So why does life still feel like it's moving around in circles, right? It goes forward a little bit and then slides back and doesn't really feel like you're going forward. If you keep overthinking, restarting, and waiting for the right moment to finally change, this video is going to show you the real reason high potential people stay stuck for years and years and years. And the simple shift that creates momentum fast. And that's what we're all looking for, right? Is moving forward. So what is high potential stuck? Well, let's define it, right? High potential, of course, is having big ideas, high standards, strong capability. Stuck, well, that looks like delays, restarting, overthinking, inconsistent follow through, which we know is really hard. Now, if you have that, you can feel your potential. You know you can do more, which makes it hurt more when you're stuck. I've been there where you just feel like you can't get out of it, and you know you're capable of more, and you know you should be doing more, but you just can't move forward. The worst part is, the smarter you are, the easier it is to rationalize staying stuck. And I'll show you how. You're living in mental rehearsal, right? So most of the time, if we're stuck, we research more than we act, right? We research plan. We restart even after small slip-ups. Maybe it was me this weekend with my diet, right? My daughter came home from school. We ate a bunch of junk food, watched some movies, and I could have just got back on my diet again Saturday morning, and I was like, oh, I'll just start again Monday. Why? Why not just get to it, right? Lots of times we hide behind our planning. When I used to coach a lot of sport and I was helping people run their first marathons or 10Ks or whatever, they would plan and plan. They'd write out every workout for 6 months. Every day would be logged and planned, and then they'd never get there, right? Because they just wouldn't carry through. They wouldn't follow through with their plans. And most often, all this stuff makes us avoid the first step, which is the most uncomfortable one. The getting started is the one that is the hardest, right? Well, if you recognize this, that's great, because now we can fix it. And what I've found is that high potential people overthink because thinking feels like progress, right? We think, we research, we write stuff down, and what we end up with is paralysis through analysis, right? Perfectionism. And we fear wasted effort. Like, if we give this a go, it might not work. So therefore, we don't. And we just stop acting. And taking action is, it's the hardest thing. It honestly is. Once you've researched and you've planned, you've built something, you've decided, it's acting that's the hardest, okay? In a minute, I'm going to tell you the one question that breaks this real quick. So just hold on. The reason, too, why we stay stuck is your standards are too big for your current capacity, okay? You're not failing at life, you're failing at load management. You got too much stuff on. Adults over 30 have less margin, right? We got work, kids, bills, fatigue, 40, 50 things we're trying to improve, and 100 people that are pulling at us, tugging at our strings. So when our capacity is lower, big goals feel even bigger. Okay, so when we have less capacity, taking on a big challenge is like, what? That's way too much. Okay, so we avoid them. Why take on something bigger when you already have 1,000 things on your to-do list that you got to do? And avoidance looks like this. Now, it's not good avoidance. It's doom scrolling, right? Doing busy work. Doing the stuff that just doesn't matter. Constant reorganizing of stuff, right? How many times have you rewritten your to-do list or redone your calendar or got up and done some housework instead of doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, right? Discipline isn't intensity. Discipline is what you can repeat consistently, even when you don't want to, right? In one of my other videos, I described you have to be able to do it on your worst day. Not on your best day. Your best day, you can do anything. You're like Superman. But on your worst day, that's when you have to be able to do it. And that's what discipline really is. Hey, if you like my content, while I'm, doing these videos, make sure you like and subscribe and tune in, because I'm putting out content regularly. And if you really want to get a head start, grab my quick start program from the Stone Age Success, and it's free. Just download it and you can get started. And feel free to reach out to me through comments or emails, and I'll help you out as much as I can. Reason 3 why we got high potential and we're still stuck is we keep trying to use motivation as our engine, right? And motivation is unreliable. Motivation relies on emotion, and emotions are up and down and up and down. So therefore, motivation is up and down, up and down. What you need is better structure. Truly, just better structure. Whenever I'm coaching someone, the minute that we put in proper structure, in fact, a great example is I've just been coaching some college kids, university students, and they're the ones that have GPAs that aren't good enough to get them to graduate. So I'm working with them to really up their GPA in a short amount of time to go. What they're lacking is structure. They're not lacking the smarts. They're just lacking structure. And they'll get motivated for a while and go real hard at stuff, and then motivation falls off. And of course, then they fall behind. They miss handing in assignments, all that stuff. So we build in structure. All of a sudden, they just soar ahead. And they have a lot more time to do their other stuff, to play, be sociable, whatever. Because structure makes more time, all right? High potential people feel like we gotta wait, right? We gotta be ready. And then we blame ourselves for not acting. So we waiting the time. Maybe it's not ready. Well, I'll wait till Monday. I'll wait till next month. And then we beat ourselves up because we didn't take the opportunity. I just did another video on how the 4 things that destroy life decisions, right? One of them is the procrastination, not making the decision, right? Too much research, not making the decision, right? And then, of course, not acting, right? That's the 3 of the things that just kill you, right? And the problem isn't your desire, right? It's just the system. You need a better system, one that you can rely on all the time and it doesn't change. So we need to stop focusing on the wrong thing and start focusing on what drives outcome. We have to choose the right lever, right? We can't choose the wrong lever and expect a different result all the time. So here's the fix, right? I've got a Stone Age momentum system that's designed exactly for this, to drive you forward. But here's the quick fix. Number 1, shrink your target. Choose only one facet of your life that you really want to go hard in right now, that you want to set a big goal. Whether it be health, money, work, self-respect routines, whatever. A huge one with some of my clients right now is, getting their weight, their body, their fitness back in line. Okay, choose one thing to go at hard. The funny thing is, when you choose one thing, the rest of your life bends around it to help it all move forward. Okay, so choose one. If you choose everything, if you try to improve every single area in your wheel of life, all the aspects of your life, you can't do it, right? If nothing's the priority, nothing gets built. So you have to have a priority. 2, one daily proof. Choose one action, one proof each day that's repeatable and easy enough to do on your bad day. Remember, not on your best day, on your bad day. So for example, what is the base fitness thing you could do on your worst, crappiest day? What about a 10-minute walk before breakfast? 10 minutes, nothing, right? We could do that. Maybe it's 20 minutes on skill building, right? Maybe it's listening to, a real good book for 20 minutes. Maybe it's a book on finances, how to increase your finances. Maybe do one hard task before noon. Like one of your real hard ones. Maybe it's been an email that you've been, dreading sending out, or you have to do your taxes, right? We just went through this, right? Where it's like, we have to do our taxes. So it's like, do that hard task before noon. Get it whack, bam that thing out, okay? Turn your phone off at a set time. That's something you can easily do every single day, even on your bad day. Turn your phone off so that you don't have it in the evening, so you don't have blue screen, so it doesn't keep you awake, so you're not just doom scrolling through doing nothing, right? Here's something that you got to remember. Confidence doesn't come first. Evidence comes first. So be successful at a little task, no matter how small it is. Be successful at a small task, Then your confidence grows. Then you'll want to do another small task and more confidence. And this builds and builds. And that's when it builds the momentum. I in some of my other videos, I've talked about the raindrop theory, right? Where raindrops are like success. And so are you afraid of a raindrop? No. Are you afraid of a rain shower? Of course not. You just put an umbrella up. Are you afraid of a flood that washes your house away? Well, yeah, of course I'm afraid of a flood that washes my house away, but why? If that's success, those raindrops, that flood is just a collection of raindrops. So if we treat raindrops like success, little tiny successes, they create a flood of success, and that creates momentum. That builds massive confidence in what we're doing, all right? So step one, shrink your target down so you're able to do it, one domain in your life. Step two, choose one action to do, even that you can do on your bad day. Step three, get a better scorecard, right? Track what you need to do, right? Track what you planned versus what you completed today. That's an awesome feedback. This is what I planned to do today. I planned to do a 30-minute walk after lunch. Did I do that walk or not? And if I didn't, why not? And how can I get it to happen tomorrow, right? Remember, recovering from mistakes recovery speed matters more than getting it right the first time, right? Letting a mistake knock you down and it keeps you down for a long time totally kills you. But having a small slip up, like the diet slip up, oops, I ate a bag of M&Ms tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm right back on my normal diet. I'm getting up, I'm doing my walk, I'm going. That little slip up means nothing. That doesn't happen. But my weekend one, where I ate some junk food with my daughter on Friday night, and then Saturday I went and had pizza and some more junk food, and I had ice cream, and then I didn't exercise, and I laid around all day Sunday, and I ate a big whatever. It keeps you down longer. Then recovery takes a longer time, right? So make sure, watch what you track, right? Make sure you recover quickly from slip-ups. And the fewer restarts you have, the faster the recovery. That is major success, right? Getting up quickly is massive success. And the last step, step 4, is to remove any friction that you have, right? Make the actions easier that you're going to take. Make them smaller actions. Remember, smaller steps are much easier to take than big, massive, giant leaps, right? So break the action small. Break your projects down into smaller chunks, easier to do. If it's going out for a run, put your shoes by the door so they're ready to go. Maybe put a reminder in your calendar that what you're going to be doing. Prep the environment the night before. I remember when I was running lots and it was in Canadian wintertime and, it might be 30, 40 below outside and windy and snowy. And I'd have to get up at 5 in the morning and run before I went to coach basketball. And there was days where I had to make sure I slept in my running clothes so that I had no excuse in the morning. That 10 minutes of getting dressed didn't allow me to falter my decision and not go, right? I had to be able to go. So I just slept in my clothes. Always ask yourself this question: what's the smallest version of this that I would still respect myself for doing, right? So when I was running lots, I had this 10-20 hole rule where I figured even if I felt sick as a dog and it was crappy outside, if I ran 10 minutes away from home and then decided, screw this, I'm going back home, I'm not running anymore, and I ran back home, I had a 20-minute workout in. For me, that was the minimum respectful, yep, okay, I got 20 minutes in, wasn't great, but it was 20 minutes I didn't have before. And if I got to the 10-minute mark and I felt okay, then I'd run another 10 minutes. So then I'd be 20 minutes away from home. If I decided to quit at that point, I'd run home and I had a 40-minute workout. And so my 10-20 hole rule was a way of finding the version that would be small enough that I would still respect myself if I did it. I wouldn't beat myself up. Oh, I only did 20 minutes, blah, 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 and beat myself up. It was okay. I gave myself a thumbs up, smiley face in my workout journal. I got my workout in. Your brain is the thing that makes the resistance happen. When your brain stops fighting, when your task matches your capacity that you have, right? If you're super busy and then you tell yourself you're going to do a 2-hour walk, you're not going to do the 2-hour walk. because you're so busy with the other stuff in your life, your family, kids, work, whatever, your business that you're running, you won't do it. So you need to find tasks that fit with the capacity that you have right now. And that's why shifting your priority, finding one area to really go at hard is super important. Excuse me. One thing that you could do, is really figure out, once you build your structure, do a time management analysis is one of the best things first, right? Is find out where you're wasting time, because we all waste hours every day, no matter how busy we are. I worked as a professional sport coach. I was doing 90-hour weeks with games, travels, all this stuff, and I still could find hours every day that I was just wasting away, right? All of us find time, definitely, with phone scrolling and stuff like that, surfing. That's, we can just kill that stuff out of our stuff, all right? So make sure, choose your priority, make your actions small, track the right things, and fit it within the capacity that you have to remove any resistance that you have to do it. That's how you get going forward. And that's how we move out of being stuck and start living to the potential that we have. Start living to that high potential without just going round and round and round all the time, because that is soul defeating, right? It just defeats you, crushes you down, all right? Hey, I want you to put in the comment box, what's going to be your priority over the next little while, and what's the one action you're going to take that's going to fit your capacity. Make sure you subscribe and hit like, drop me comments, and hey, check out my next video, and we'll catch you next time.